Wait a minute, I don't understand. You mean you're gonna question us separately?
What's the matter? You afraid your statements won't gel?
No, we have nothing to hide.
Detective Brubaker, couldn't this be the fault of some administrative oversight?
Oh, you mean like Bill Schaefer down at the Land Development Commission?
Yeah, Bill, or maybe one of his staff. They're the ones who issued the final report okaying the Canterbury site.
As a matter of fact, I checked with him, and it seems that he just has a copy of the report saying that that land was not suitable for Gil's plans.
So what, are you going to take his word for it and drag us in here?
Well, if Bill knew about the report, why was he silent for so long?
Miss Lang, I'm very surprised at you. The LDC is one of 10 government agencies that has been cut way back and just gutted because of this tight budget. Now, they have a hard time just issuing the permits, let alone enforcing them.
Well, I thought enforcing it was your job.
Not in this case. You see, the geological branch of the LDC is it's a service to developers. It's not an obligation. I hope none of this is news to you.
Well, you know how it is. Alphabet soup. Who knows which office has the final say?
Well, today I think the Kingsley Police Department does.
First thing up this morning, you're to see Charles sue anything that moves Carpenter.
He's first? Great.
So what? You can handle him.
Not if he doesn't know about the Canterbury.
Oh, that's old news.
He just got back from England with Miriam and Eric. What if he hadn't read the papers yet?
Listen, sweetie, nobody sinks $400,000 into a project like the Canterbury and doesn't keep his finger on it. I mean, even a greedy old man like Charles Carpenter is going to know what's happening. I don't care if he's in Uganda.
Babs.
That's probably why he called back. Chuck! We were just talking about you.
Greedy old man.
Babs, I think you owe Charles an apology.
You're right. I'm sorry. You're not greedy. Will you be needing anything else?
No.
You know, Harold, I don't blame a man for a diversion, but I really think you ought to provide Miss Farley with a penthouse and not a secretary's desk.
Charles, I resent that implication because Babs is not a diversion. I need her. Look, let's just drop that whole subject, can we? Look, sit down. How was your trip?
Worthwhile?
Eric settling in okay?
Oh, he's fine.
Okay.
In fact, I brought him along with me this morning. He's down in the arcade right now.
Oh. I assumed that while you were over there in England, you naturally kept up with everything that was going on over here in Kingsley.
How could I do that, Harold? I just got home yesterday. Unpacked, unwound. Granted, I'm having a little difficulty about Herrick from Miriam, but I can certainly straighten that out. Why the long face?
The Canterbury?
What about it?
It collapsed. It's nothing but a pile of rubble.
You're no stranger to this, Nancy. You know your rights.
To an attorney. And I don't need one.
You know, you could save us all a lot of trouble and just give us a statement at the outset.
I haven't done anything wrong, and I'm perfectly willing to put that in writing.
I'm afraid I'm going to need a little bit more than that. Now, why don't you tell me who processes the permits at your office?
Vicky does.
Who does, she takes the materials from the LDC and then hands them on to the builders and contractors.
That's right.
Who does the building codes and the housing applications?
Vicky?
Zoning restrictions?
Vicky?
Sewer and water lines?
She does.
What do you do?
Type and file.
How many words a minute?
37.
How many with both hands?
Do I have to put up with this kind of abuse?
Oh, look, Nancy, my question is that I suspect that you're not an executive secretary. But what else do you do down there besides paperwork?
Nothing, which is why there's no reason for me to even be here.
But still, you're very accessible to Vicky as a co-conspirator. What do you got going with Gil?
I give up, you tell me.
Friends.
Gil doesn't interest me.
Most women find him attractive.
Well, Sergeant Brubaker, in case you hadn't noticed, I'm not like most women.
That's a well-documented fact, Nancy.
But I will say this much. Gil and Vicky did have their roll in the hay.
How long ago?
Tail end of last year.
What happened?
He dumped her.
Why?
How should I know? He doesn't need a reason to dump
How
anyone.
did Vicky take it?
Not very well.
And when did Gil apply for the permit for the Canterbury site?
Well, it was just after the New Year, in fact.
And did she process the papers as usual?
Well, actually, she took a little longer than she normally does. Look, Sergeant Brubaker, I know that we have had our differences in the past, but I'm not a hardened criminal. I want justice done just as much as you do. Now, I don't have any proof, but Vicky's been acting very burdened lately.
Really?
Well, you know, bless her heart, she was so torn up when Gil just dumped her. I wouldn't be surprised if she planned this whole thing.
And I wouldn't be surprised if you helped her.
I have proof that that's not so.
How?
If I planned this whole thing, you never would have caught me.
Canterbury collapsed?
Yeah, it was about a week and a half before you got back. I thought about calling you in England, but, well, I wanted to wait until all the details came to the surface.
Well, have they?
The police investigation shows negligence on the part of the builder. Ergo, the insurance doesn't cover them.
The them that you are so blithely referring to is us. We happen to be the investors.
We take the loss.
Do you realize that's almost $500,000? Now what happened?
Charles, the details are kind of sketchy. If you want my opinion, Prescott Development has a well-earned reputation for integrity, for product excellence.
That's marvelous. And I have a $400,000 share of an honest, high-quality junkyard.
That's not the point, Charles. The point is that Prescott Development looks like it probably was the victim of false information. I was talking to Osmond down at the
Well,
police.
are they liable?
Yeah.
Well, then stop all this nonsense about false information and start a suit.
There's a little bit more.
I don't want to hear it.
It's about Nancy Lawson.
Tell me she's not involved in this.
I'm afraid John Brubaker's the only one who can tell you that. He's interrogating her and Vicki Lang right now down at the precinct.
Then sue both of them. Oh, honestly, how can that woman be so much trouble to me?
From what I hear, it's a private vendetta. Charles, I'm sorry that you had to come home to this kind of news.
And I was going to take Eric down to the construction site.
Yeah, Derek, tell me about him. Let's let this other business set for a while.
Oh. He is a wonderful boy, Harold. And all along I thought Paul was going to ruin him.
Al?
Well, you never met Paul. Paul used to sneak away from my Lake Forest parties into the library and read Tennyson aloud to himself.
A little literature never hurt anybody.
I know, Harold, but books are doors. Some people read them to open new horizons for themselves. Paul reads them to keep himself shut in and everybody else shut out. And I don't want my son to make that same mistake.
Your grandson.
You know, that's the third time I've said that since I've been home. Anyway, I can see that Eric has enough carpenter in him to keep the Mason side of the family in check.
That's encouraging. Does he know about his mother?
Well, not about the drug addiction, no. Merely that for quite a while she was not feeling well.
And what about the kidnapping?
Oh, well, we told him about that, and he actually got a little excited about it, but that's only natural. He's too young to realize the danger that Miriam was in. No, he's going to learn a lot here, and I am going to be right here while he's doing it.
Walter won't miss you this morning?
Well, I was up late trying to meet a deadline there. Besides, he doesn't expect me in this early anyway.
Even though you are dressed.
Hey, that's between you and me. And you too. That reminds me, little lady. Where's my paper at?
I'll get it. Oh, there's someone out there.
Hi, Mrs. Redden.
Oh, Gene, it's the paper boy.
That's right, I'm collecting.
Hey, Peter! Come on in here, buddy.
Hi, I came over to meet Monk and see if he wants to go to the hospital, maybe pop over to the college with me.
Oh, I'm sorry, he's not here.
Yeah, he's working at the huddle right now, but I really want him to meet you.
No problem. I can come back again.
You know, it's really nice that you dropped by, because it really, he needs friends like you.
Yeah. Anything I can do to help. I'm sure we have a lot in common.
Oh, well, you can still stay and talk.
Well, no, that's all right. I need to get over to the hospital. Mom left some reports at home. Boy, this place sure reminds me of Grandma.
Oh, we love living here.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'll tell Monk that you dropped by.
All righty. See you later.
That sure was nice of him.
Seems like everybody wants to help old Monk out, huh?
Aren't we subtle?
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to talk about him, and it seems like we had a great chance to air all of this stuff out yesterday. So why'd you leave?
Well, I had my reasons. But I've decided to be completely honest with you for the first time.
So have you been holding something back from me?
Yes. Monk's passed, and his being here, and we're starting anew. Those are real concerns.
I see. But there's more, right?
Yep, there's more.
Well, good. Good. Then you're gonna be honest.
Well, gee, now, don't get too excited. I mean, I'm going to tell you everything. But you're not going to like it.
What won't I like?
Well, Gene, in a way, it's the same problem we've always had, just a new angle.
I didn't know we've been having any problems lately.
Oh, no. That's not what I meant at all. You've been very affectionate to me, even in my family way, and you know how that makes me feel. But the fact remains that it's a conscious effort on your part, and I love you all the more for making that effort.
Yeah, well, it wasn't too difficult. But go on.
When I was on the road, there were other men.
Carl, baby, now you told me that we're gonna forget about our past.
I know, but I'm just using it to illustrate a very present problem. I mean, men at the stage door, in the audience, and a handful of nice ones, and a couple I found quite attractive.
Let me understand something. Are you telling me that if Monk were in your audience, that you would find him attractive?
When I think of him as a teenager, I get impatient with him. And as an intruder in my home, I get angry, but occasionally I find him a very attractive young man. And yes, it bothers me. As a woman, I mean. And to frustrate matters even more, I can't believe that you aren't aware of the situation here.
Carla, it's not that I'm not unaware. Lady, I trust you.
When I wouldn't do anything to make you not trust me. Oh, Jean, I want you to be every part of my life and in every minute of my thoughts. That's why I'm telling you all of this. Because being with you makes me feel so whole. And I want to be the wife that you asked me to be years ago.
Yes. I understand that. Look, there are women at work that I find attractive. And it's the same thing that you're talking about. And sometimes I say to myself, gosh, I'm really glad that Carla doesn't know I gave that woman a second look. But those are foolish fears. Because the strength in our one love can defeat and destroy any weakness that we might have in our relationship.
Oh, Gene, I love you so much, but baby, you're talking about women at work. Monk is here in our home.
Carla, baby, hey, I know that. I know that. And if he was hanging around the house doing nothing, just following you around the place, then I would do something about it. But the fact is that he's trying to get his diploma. He's working at the huddle. He's in and out so much, he's hardly around here. Hey, I really think everything is going to be all right around here.
Yeah. Yes, I think it's going to be all right, too. Oh, I love you so much.
Hi, got a minute?
Sure, come on in.
I won't stay long. I know you must have a lot of catching up to do.
Work I have, but I'm lonely for a friendly face, too.
How was Boston?
Real nice. You know, the methodologies are changing so fast, I could go to a nursing seminar once a week and still not get it all.
Well, good. Oh, I've got some news, Terry.
Oh, wait, before I forget. I thought that you'd be stopping by. Here it is.
Hey, that's wonderful.
Now the world has one less bachelor using paper cups.
Thank you. I'll use it at the clinic.
You know, I'm sorry I couldn't be more original, but the more I thought about it, I realized I really didn't know what kind of presents you liked or needed.
No, this is great, really.
Well, what's the news?
Oh, it's about Kate. She's going to help out with the clinic's opening.
She is?
Terry, I know I asked you to help, and I still need you there. But when Kate came by and asked what she could do, I just couldn't believe it.
Well, that's wonderful.
She has so many influential friends. You should see the invitation list she put together.
Well, I'm sure you're happy she'll be there for other reasons.
Happy. I'm ecstatic. I try not to get my hopes up, but, well, it sure is hard.
I'm gonna give it to you straight, Miss Lang. After I talked to Nancy, it was very clear that you had the motive and the means to get back at Gil.
What did she say to you?
Enough.
She's lying.
About what? That you intercepted the soil analysis report? It took you longer to process than usual? Or did you want to get revenge on Gil? Which is the lie?
All of them.
Are you saying you're still friends with Gil?
Yes.
I'll bring him in here to verify.
No. I mean, we're not enemies.
My sources tell me that you swore revenge on him.
That was an empty threat. I said that when I was mad at him.
When was that? Around the turn of the year?
Around there.
When the soil analysis came in? Why did you do it?
I didn't do anything.
Don't you realize it can be traced directly back to your office?
Sergeant, I told you.
But you
I
didn't think anything bad was going to happen, that he'd just have a small loss and he'd find it out before he started major construction, right?
I didn't think anything would happen.
But you were hoping that Gil would take it into his own hands. There wouldn't be any legal action. Just as long as you get some personal attention from him. So you forged a government document.
I didn't forge anything.
But Nancy says you masterminded the whole thing.
She said what?
That she suspected you were planning this thing all along.
This was her idea from the start.
Oh, really?
What do I know about forgery or theft?
Those questions had crossed my mind.
When the soil report came into the office, Nancy dreamed up the whole idea. I didn't think of the consequences. I don't know. I just couldn't take the way Gil was acting towards me. He seemed so hard and so cold. Nancy said my job was the only ace I had, and that I ought to use it against him.
Who forged the report?
Nancy.
And who took the fake and replaced the original?
She did. She went into Prescott Development's office files and lifted the fake copy. I don't know where it is.
I do. I'm gonna need a statement, Miss Lang.
As a matter of fact, Kate decided to handwrite the invitations since there might not be enough time to get them printed.
Well, that sounds good.
Do you think you can help?
Oh, you mean me help Kate?
Yes, with the writing of the invitations.
Yeah, I'd love to. Come on in.
Oh, hello. Oh, sorry, you got company.
No, come on in, Peter.
How you doing, Peter?
Fine. Just like the Pony Express.
Oh, yeah, I left this report at home this morning. Say, you're not going to be late for class, are you?
Hey, now. You're more important than any academic pursuit.
Peter.
It's 10:30. I have 45 minutes till my next class.
10:30. I told Ben I'd be back by now. I really got to get going. Thanks a lot, Terry.
Sure, that's great news.
See you, Peter.
Yeah. He's a nice guy, Dr. Phillips. What's this?
Oh, no, you forgot it.
A present?
Yeah. Guess I'm just going to have to give it to him later.
Well, I'm getting tired of playing musical chairs, Brubaker.
Oh, well, don't worry, Nancy. The music has stopped. You see, I'm getting a full confession from Vicki Lang. She's explained your part in this whole mess. Theft, conspiracy, don't even scratch the surface. I'm getting a statement from her.
Well, what did you expect her to say?
Does that mean you're gonna stick with your story?
Don't you see what she's trying to do? She's trying to drag me down with her.
Do you expect me to believe that you had absolutely nothing to do with this?
Frankly, Brubaker, I couldn't care less what you believe, but you don't have any proof, and that's all I have to say.